Welcome back to another crochet tutorial. Today we are going to be making this mushroom pouch. This one is both functional and cute, and it is great as a bag charm, and you can even hide things inside the bag. So for me, I put some money, some eye drops, and some hair ties, and then I put it on my bag. As always, let's start with going through the materials you will need to prepare for this crochet project. You will need 3 colors of yarn. I have prepared white, red, and beige. You also need your usual crochet kit. I am using the 3.0mm hook, some stitch markers, yarn needle, and yarn snip. To put all the tiny details on the mushroom cat, I have also prepared my glue gun. If you want to know where I get all my crochet supplies, I have provided a link in the description below. Before we get into crocheting, I would like to first do a quick run through of the anatomy so you have a good idea of what's ahead. This bag charm is pretty simple and there are only 3 parts in total. The first part is the beige part. This is essentially the storage space where you hide all your little secrets, and this is also the mushroom stem. The second part is the red color part. We call this the mushroom cap. This is essentially the cover for your pouch. And when you put them together, it will look like a little house. So this is like the house, and then this is the roof of the house. And the third thing is the dots. So here, 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 and here. These are the little details that we'll be doing, so we make this bag charm look more like a mushroom. And as always, I have provided timestamps in the description below. If you want to skip any part or fast forward to any part, make sure to check the timestamps out. Let's get started. We're gonna start with the pouch first, so I'm using the beige one. Using the yarn, do a loop. Put both your fingers in and pull to get a knot. Using the hook, put your hook through the hole and tighten it. Okay, to start, we're gonna do 12 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Once that is done, we're gonna go back 2 chains. So 1, 2. In the second chain, we're gonna do single crochet. Use a stitch marker and put it so you know that this is the first stitch. And then continue on. Second single crochet. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once you reach the first chain, in the first chain we are going to do 3 single crochet. 1, 2, 3. Once that is done, we're gonna do 9 single crochet. So just follow the chain back and do 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Usually I do about 4 to 6 single crochet when hiding the excess yarn. So right now I have already do 4 of them. So I'm gonna use the yarn snip to cut the excess yarn out and then continue. So this 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Once we reach the last chain, we're gonna do 2 single crochet. And this will be your last stitch, so use a stitch marker again, put through, that's the last stitch. To close the row, we are going to do a slip stitch into the first single crochet. This will be your first row. To start the second row, we are going to do a chain first, and then in the first stitch, we are going to do 2 single crochet. So put back the stitch marker. Then do 9 single crochet. Once that is done, in the next 3 stitches, we are gonna do 2 single crochet in each one. 1, 2. Then in the next one, we're gonna do 2 again. 1, 2. In the next one, we're gonna do 2 again. 1, 2. And then we're gonna do 9 single crochet. In the last 2 stitches of this row, we are going to do 2 single crochet in each one. 1, 2. Take out the stitch marker, do 2 more. Pull back the stitch marker. And then do a slip stitch to close the row. To start the third row, we're going to do a chain, and this time round, we are going to do 30 double crochet all around. There will be no increase and no decrease, and we're going to be only working on the back loop. So to do a double crochet loop around, go to the back loop only. So like that is both loops. We are going to do the back loop only. Back loop. 1, 2. Okay, and we're just going to continue doing the same thing for the entire round. Once you reach the last stitch, take out the stitch marker, do your last double crochet in the back loop only. Put back your stitch marker and then slip stitch to the first double crochet of that row. And ta-da! Now we have already crocheted 3 rows of the pouch. The first 2 rows is essentially the base of the pouch. The third row is the first row of the height of the pouch. For row 4 to 9, it's essentially the same. I'm going to show you how to crochet one row first. So to start the row, we'll do 2 chains and then we're just going to do double crochet. So put back the stitch marker and then we're just going to do double crochet for the entire row. Put back the stitch marker. Again, go to the first double crochet of that row and do a slip stitch, close the row. And this is how you do row 4 to row 9. We're going to continue until row 9 and I will meet you there when we reach. I'm currently at row number 9, so I'm just going to finish off the remaining stitches here. And then slip stitch into the first double crochet of that row. Your pouch should look like mine. It's a bit squarish, alright? For the last row, we are gonna do slip stitch. So do a chain first and then do a slip stitch, just to have the nice finishing on top. Alright, put back the stitch marker and then we're just gonna do slip stitch. Stitch, slip stitch, slip stitch. Ta-da! And your pouch is done. Without cutting the yarn, we are going to start doing the drawstring part. So without cutting the string, we're going to do 70 chain. Depending on your preference, you can increase or decrease the length of the string, but for this crochet tutorial, I'm doing 70. A trick here, so that you don't have to keep recounting, is to do it in groups of 10s so you can gauge the length. I have already done 20, so 50 more to go. More. And that's 70 chain. So what we're gonna do now is to attach the string on the other side of the pouch. So you can just eyeball read, or if you are more OCD like me, then we are gonna do some quick math. So each row is about 30 double crochet, so on the other end it will be the 15th stitch. Okay, so let's just count quickly. Okay, so 15 is around here, so you're just gonna do a slip stitch onto the other side. Okay, around here, I'm gonna do a slip stitch. If you want it to be more secured, then you can do a slip stitch on the next stitch as well before cutting it off. Okay, so I do 2 so that it can be more stable, and then once that is done, we're gonna cut the yarn and pull all the way through. And before cutting it off, we're gonna hide some yarn first. Okay. So essentially, you're gonna hide it on the inside of the pouch, so if there are any yarns, it won't be easy to seam. So I'm gonna hide in the double crochet. So just go through around maybe few, go in. If you want more, you can do more, but that's enough for me. Cut it off. And the pouch is done. Next, we're gonna crochet the mushroom cap. This is also essentially the cover of the pouch. We're gonna start off with a magic ring first. We're gonna do 1 chain and then do 12 double crochet. So this is the first double crochet. Again, use a stitch marker. So once you reach the last stitch, we're gonna pull a bit so that we have a larger hole here, and then we are gonna tighten the magic ring. So pull the string, and then you'll see that this string is moving, this string is not moving. We are gonna pull on the other end of the string that is moving to tighten the magic ring. So unlike other crochet project, I will tighten it till it's very small, but this time round, because we are gonna sew this string part through the magic ring, so I don't want the hole to be too small. If not, it'll be very hard for me to tighten later on. So just tighten it big enough so that the pouch string can go through. And once that is done, then we're gonna pull the long one and tighten the magic ring. Okay, once that is done, put your hook through the hole. Indicate with a stitch marker. And then we're gonna slip stitch to close off the row. To start the next row, we are going to do 2 chain first and then a double crochet. Okay, remember that you need to start hiding the yarn. So put it behind. This is the first double crochet. Put back your stitch marker. In the next stitch, we're gonna do an increase of the double crochet. So there will be 1, 2. Okay, we're gonna continue this until we reach the last stitch. Okay, I'm gonna cut off excess yarn and continue. It's going to be curving up a little, and that is okay. We're just going to concentrate on crocheting the row first, and then we'll flip it afterwards. Put it back, and we're gonna close off with a slip stitch. And then you see that it's curved, so we just flip it around like this. For the next row, we're gonna start with 2 chain again. This time there will be no increase or decrease. We're just gonna do double crochet. And slip stitch to close the row. For the next row, we're going to start to increase, so do 2 chains first, followed by 2 double crochets, so 1, in the next stitch, then we're going to do another double crochet. In the next stitch, we're going to do an increase, so make sure you go through both loops. 1, 2. Okay, and we're just going to continue this until we reach the last stitch. take the stitch marker, slip stitch in to close the row. For the next row, we're gonna start with 2 chains again. This time we're gonna do 3 double crochet first. Followed by an increase. We're going to continue this pattern until we reach the last stitch. Take out the stitch marker, 2 more, pull back the stitch, and we're gonna slip stitch into the first stitch of that row to close off. Ta-da! For the last row, we're not gonna do any increase or decrease, we're just gonna do double crochet. Okay, take out the stitch marker and do your last double crochet. Because this is the final row, we are not going to do a slip stitch. Instead, we're going to do this manual crochet stitch method to close off the row so that we can have a nice finishing. So what we're going to do is to cut off the yarn first, pull out the row. Using the yarn needle, we're gonna sew it through, and this is what we're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna first double crochet off that row and sew through both the loops. You can take out the stitch marker here, so sew through both the loops, pull, go back to the last double crochet of that row and go through only the back loop. So this is going through both. This is the front loop and this is the back loop. So we are going to go through the back loop, pull to tighten, and you will see that there will be a nice finishing. Okay, for all this excess yarn, we're gonna hide it inside, just like what we did with the pouch. And then we're going to cut off the excess yarn. And this is how the pouch will look like. Next up, the details, which is the white parts. You basically have 3 options here depending on how big you want the dots to be. You can crochet either magic ring 8 single crochet, or a bigger one will be magic ring 8 double crochet, or if you want an even bigger one, you can do a magic ring 10 single crochet. So for this one I have 4. So you're gonna do at least 4 dots, or if you want more then you can do more. So for this crochet tutorial, I'm gonna show you 2 small ones, 1 medium one, and 1 large one. Alright, so for the small one, you're just gonna do a magic ring, and we are gonna do 8 single crochet. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, pull out a little bit so you have a bigger hole. And now we're going to tighten the magic ring. So the tail, you pull it a little to see that this one is moving, right? So we're going to pull on the other side. This time we are going to tighten it until we can see the hole. Okay, then we're going to pull all the way to tighten. Again, we want that nice finishing, so we're going to cut off the yarn, pull it out, use the yarn needle, do the manual stitch method. Ta-da! Tighten it, so this will be the small one. To hide all the excess yarn, what I like to do is to do a double knot behind. So 1 knot, and I'm gonna do another one. Second one. Okay, then I will do like that, align them together like this, and then I'm gonna cut it off. And that's how you do the first dot. For a medium-sized one, it's the same thing. Instead of single crochet, we are going to do double crochet. So magic ring again, do another chain, and we're gonna do 8 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, tighten the magic ring. Cut the yarn. Pull it out. Use the yarn needle. Sew it through. And do the closing. Okay. Pull it so it's nicer. Finishing. Do double knot. First knot. Second knot, and then cut it out. And this is your second option. You can see that it's slightly bigger. For the third option, it's the same thing. We're going to start with a magic ring first. This time round, we are gonna do 10 single crochet. So instead of 8, we're gonna do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Show you one last time. Open the magic ring first. You pull the tail to see which one is moving, and then pull the other end to tighten the magic ring, and then pull the tail. Cut off the yarn, pull out, use the yarn needle, sew it through, and do the nice finishing. Pull to tighten, make it nicer, do a double knot, and then cut off the excess yarn. So these are the 3 options you have. So this is the smaller one, 8 single crochet. I think this is medium, so 10 single crochet. And the second one we did is the biggest one, 8 double crochet. So depending on how big you want the dots to be, do at least 4 of them. I think I like this one better, so I'm gonna do one more of that. So 10 single crochet, six, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pull out a little, tighten the magic ring. This one. Cut the yarn, pull it out, yarn needle, sew through. One more time, pull to tighten, rub it on. And then cut off the excess yarn. Okay, so for this crochet tutorial, I'm just gonna use 4. If you want more of them, just do more. Now that we have all the parts ready to go, all we left to do is to put them together. We are first going to glue the dots onto the mushroom cap using the glue gun. So heat up the glue gun first, and then we'll go from there. Once your glue gun is ready, you'll be able to see the glue oozing out. So what I'm gonna do is to put to alternate between the small, medium, and big one. So the big, small, medium, small. Okay. So I'm gonna do the big one first. So I'm gonna glue. So what I like to do is to glue onto the excess yarn. So we'll be kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Making sure that the excess yarn couldn't be seen, and applying the glue so that we can stick it on. Press for around 3 seconds to make sure that it sticks, and then we'll move to the next one. If you haven't get a glue gun, I highly recommend you to get one, just so that it is so convenient. Press it, you can adjust the mushroom a bit so you can have visual. Okay. So sometimes you can also use the side of the glue gun to do this. Right, so you can, it's easier. Then paste it on. So I stick to 4 because it's a good number. Sometimes too much will be like overwhelming. But you know, if you want more, like maybe if you want to have 5 small ones, I think that would be okay too. But because I want to show you how to do all the sizes, so I went with 4. So the last one would be here. Okay, all these one are just dry glue. Okay, so this will be what happens when you use too much, which is why I always keep it down so that it won't ooze out like that. If not, just wait for it to dry up and then you just pull it out or cut it away. Okay, this one is popping out, so I'm just gonna put a bit more glue here. And press it in. And then your mushroom cap is basically done. This is how it will look like. The next step is then to attach the mushroom cap to the stem. So what we're gonna do is, remember I asked you to have this bigger hole for the magic ring, don't put it too tight. So this is when it's put into practice. So put your hook into the hole. Okay. Pull any part of the strings, and then you just want to pull it out. Ta-da! And then you're just gonna lower your cap a bit, adjust it a little, turn it a little if you want to make it cuter into the shape, and you're basically done. So here are some extra tips to make this your own. I'm using red for the cap and beige for the house because these are the basic colors to make it look like a mushroom, but you can always switch it out based on your preference. For example, if you want more cottagecore, you want a green plus a slightly more brownish one, you can always do so. Second tip is that if you find that the pouch is too small or too big, all you have to do is to adjust the number of chains and rows accordingly to match what you like. And the last trick is, if you want to attach it to the back, you can simply do this without using any keychains or karibana, and it will look perfect. So this one actually matched super well with my beige bag. Super cute, which is why I use it to put some cash, eye drops, and hair ties. And that's it. Hope you love making this cute little bag charm, and let me know in the comments what you would love to see next. Thanks for watching.